Medical interns are doctors. They are not students, right? They are graduates.
Well, in some universities, they have already graduated. In some others, graduation is yet to happen. So when you have qualified, you have passed exams, the university has cleared you. Yes, you a doctor. Then
these are medical. These are medical doctors.
Yes.
Who have spent 5 years at university.
Yes.
And then you only want to reward them with lunch. How ridiculous can this be?
Ensonga z'abasawo mu ggwanga. Minister of Health, Dr. Chris, let me emphasize this, Dr. Chris Baryomunsi, ng'agenda ku NBS TV ne Simon Kagwanjala, nga begeyamu. Oyinza ogamba it was an eye-opening interview. Okulaga where the country views abasawo mu ggwanga. Okulaga where the country views the interns mu ggwanga. Eno embeera twagikunako sometime back. Ekigambo medical intern taba student. Si ye intern wo wa bulijjo asomye accounting and finance, asomye statistics, asomye BCom, they're different. These are guys who have gone to medical school bakoze emyaka 5. By the time you begin your internship, nga omaze ebibuuzo ng'obiyise, nga university okuwadde clearance, they've cleared you ne bagamba genda okola internship, but because graduation happens later, ojja kukomawo okole ki? Graduating. You cannot begin internship ng'ogudde final exams. You cannot begin internship mu universities ezimu nga toyise research, nga to presenting the research wo. So, the Minister of Health comes on TV. N'agamba eggwanga nti in some universities, simanya they've graduated, others they are waiting for graduation, but that doesn't make them full doctors. But they are doctors in pencil. Their name is written in pencil, meaning they are temporary. Agena maaso n'akugamba nti the council gye bayita UMDPC, Uganda Medical and Dental Practitioners Council, kugamba council etwala abasawo mu ggwanga irresponsible nti wona registering nza ina license ebintu tuwe bityo. Agena maaso n'akugamba nti medical intern ayina provisional license. It's a provisional practicing license, meaning they're allowed to practice under supervision. Tekibajjaako the fact that they are doctors. The idea of you coming out n'otugamba nti amanya gaabwe gali mu pencil, it's you're disrespecting them. Towa kitiibwa. These are guys, because you're a fellow doctor. They've done the same thing you did. You should know better nti bana abaana embeera gye bayitamu tejja kubeera nnyangu if the report for internship nga mulimu abamu abafuna omusala and others are not paid. The policy says bakikyusaamu as our country does to create divide and conquer. Bagamba nti omwana yasomera ku government, yafuna government sponsorship ku university, n'asoma medical school whereby majority do, n'afuna na graduating nga badde government sponsorship, ajja kusigala afuna allowance. Tulinayo bano abaana abavudde mu private. Like I told you last time, they are all equally brilliant. Ekyenjawulo nti on the day of the exam, the dynamics of doing an exam are so different. Oyinza okuba nga gwe mwegezi asembayo n'otuuka mu paper ya biology senior 6, something happens. That day, n'olinya taxi enkyamu. That day, maama wo mulwadde. Things happen. Life happens. So bano abaana bagenze mu private, equally brilliant, amazing doctors. For example, agenze KIU, agenze MUK, agenze Gulu. On private, they come for internship. So the ministry is saying, nti bano tebagenda kubasasula. You pay one, you don't pay the other. Picture a scenario. We are on a night shift. Fembi tuli mu kukola. Bakusasula tebansasula. Kanetwale nti ndiwa private. I'm not paid. A mother begins to bleed. Afunye PPH, postpartum hemorrhage. Mulimu theater. Caesar negaga. Gubakusasula tebansasula. Where do I get the motivation to stand on table ekiro kiramba? Where? Obuvumu mbujjawa to show up daily nga nkosa transport wange just because I'm working for food, as the government suggests. Nenga fembi tuteekamu obudde bwe bumu. Make it make sense. We are all putting the similar time and effort. Negwe bakusasula. Nze tebansasula. Motivation njijjawa to show up, and that's what the Ministry of Health and others are not saying internship is 1 year. Mwaka mulamba. These guys are going to work their ass off. Apologize for the language. They are going to be working a lot. Obuvumu bugeno kukola motivation egena kuvawanga, you're paying them food whereby posho and beans. Baja kuja ku TV the likes of Dr. Chris. Mwene mbozi ngina kumita Dr. Chris because he is a doctor. Dr. Chris aja kuja kugambe, we are giving them food as a headline. Give them the breakdown. You're giving them posho and beans. Sende sijamu echo. Si nyama na mchere, si kakoko nedda, kawunga na bijanjalo. Baja cavalry winga maybe maximum. Nusu ungalu endoba lukumi. Bakwe mitwa alaga. Oina rent, oina transport, okola night shift. Majority of them, they would want to give a share of their salary to their parents. Tuliba firika. You have to look after your parents. Wandi ya garden tuwemfuna akasente, wade musei wange mugaga. Mweyo, even if mitwalo kumi azirieko. How would they do that? Olimu scenario, oinaba colleagues babiri, bali ku duty, bakolo mulimo gwe gumu, similar workload, omu musanyufu omulala, amira maluso. Omulala amulabanga mwebana, febyana. How will that relationship work? Your duty egenda kubeere etya. The Minister of Health goes ahead n'agamba nti the association egatta abasawo, Uganda Medical Association, is misleading these doctors. Mu interview emu agenda kugamba nti the leaders, abakulembeze ba the kind of underlook by Minister of Health tujja tuuka waawo. And I have a very interesting opinion about that. Katanike video.
How are you navigating your standoff with the doctors, the Uganda Medical Association, and other fellows in the medical world over the issue of interns?
Yes.
And how thorny is it?
It's a brand thorny, not a piercing thorny. We shall go over it. Okay, time has run, but I wish you had a bit more time to explain this issue. The medical students who complete their training at university for a degree in medicine, pharmacy, nursing, are required to undertake 1 year of apprenticeship, that's internship, if they would like to practice their profession. Because you do internship so that you get a license, a practicing license. And when I joined the medical school over 30 years ago, we had that time Makerere University and Mbarara had also come on board. Today, because of the liberalization policy expanding the education landscape, we have over 10 universities offering medical education. So the numbers of doctors, pharmacists, nurses coming out, the numbers are big. And this is what informed the new health training policy 2025 that was championed by the Ministry of Education, where proposals were made regarding facilitation of the interns, because the interns have been receiving an allowance of 1.2 million Uganda shillings, then you tax it, remove 200, the net of 1 million shillings.
So when you factor in the cost of living, naka kadde ke bagamba anti bafuna tekamala. Tuluwa ntwogera nti basasule naye, even what they are paid is peanuts. Milioni emu, temufuna bubi. I respect money. It's money at the end of the day. Ne milioni emu ku muntu agenda okukola back to back. Nga togenda funa chance, efuna yoka plani byobaka side gig, tezimala. Compared to the workload and what they do, 1 million is peanuts. Oyinza okuba ondaba ng'oli eyo, you've just graduated ng'olowooza akakadde is a lot of money. No. Compared to the workload, amaanyi ge bateekamu, the kind of work they do, 1 million is peanuts.
What is writing the interns, the pre-interns, was made that the intern should be considered as a continuation of training, and to that extent, that the students who are under government sponsorship will continue to be sponsored by government in terms of their facilitation when they are doing internship, and that for those who were privately sponsored, those government provides meals. That's what has angered, if I can call it, the interns and sections of the public. I met these pre-interns, and we spent 6 hours.
I met these pre-interns. Simanyoba, it's just me nae. I find that so disrespectful. Sikulimba. I met this guy. I met these pre-interns. Okay.
Was the discussion explaining to them, but we also undertook to, as Minister of Health, to carry out consultation with a view of seeing whether we can modify some of these proposals. And we agreed with the interns. I hope they are watching, the pre-interns, because they are not yet interns. You become an intern when you report and sign a contract with the hospital management. That they report, The reporting period is between 3rd and 14th of this month as we carry out consultations.
Yeah, but there is a new twist that you're
And
now
the-
going to cater for government students only, government interns.
No, this is what I've explained. That the policy was saying facilitation as it has been continues for those who were government sponsored at university, and then for those who were privately sponsored, government will only provide meals. And the cabinet requested the Ministry of Health to compute how much it would be to cater for the meals. That's what they call the difference between the government sponsored and the private. And I told the interns we are consulting, including with the president and the cabinet, and see whether we can. And there was a goodwill. But I warned them that if you take a confrontational approach, you might injure the goodwill which some of us
Yeah,
have.
but you've had
So-
you've had the stance of the Uganda Medical Association.
I think Uganda Medical Association, with due respect, their leaders are misleading these young people. They are misleading. And my plea would be for these young pre-interns to report and start internship as we sort out these issues. If you choose to use a confrontational approach, it may not yield results faster for you.
Is this the Bariomunsi who led the strike for
No,
Uganda back in the day?
No, I didn't lead the interns strike. But I'm just saying,
No. While you were at medical school, you led a strike.
no,
for
I
Uganda.
participated in an industrial action where we were demanding for better welfare for health workers in the country. It wasn't for interns.
Now,
Better
the issue of
healthcare.
interns is on your table.
It is.
The irony, the Minister of Health at one point, nga oyinza okugamba his law in the pecking order ali wansi awo yakamala okusoma naye akiraba mu kaseera ako nti embeera was mbi, embeera yali mbi, ne yeegatta ku IA, industrial action, to try and make things better. This was happening 30 years ago, and it's even worse. Naye mu kaseera kano ali mu position gye wandegambye nti he's comfortable. Motoka zatambuliramu za bbeeyi, earning a big salary, paid well. Oyinza ogamba he's an example of a fully accomplished doctor. Ng'abasinga obungi mu ggwanga be wanigambye even classmates bali mu kulya chachu be yasoma nabo. If you compare what he earns and what they earn, bali ku chachu. But because right now he's comfortable, ajja ku TV n'akugamba nti, oh, back then we complained for our welfare. And these kids, the interns, mbaita kids because baana bato abasinga obungi. The interns are doing the same thing and you're not listening to them. Omuntu yakiyitamu, you even participated mu industrial action back then. Ne mu kaseera kano you're failing to do enough. Ngenda gamba do enough because I think you're trying. Because I think you've tried naye nga your hands are tied. Nga the forces around you are more powerful than what you're capable of. Siri kuzala wa minister, but that's the picture. Maybe you'd want the picture to be different. Maybe you'd want things to play out differently. Naye nga your hands are tied. Now they are fronting you okujja ku TV to tell lies. They are fronting you okujja ku TV to try and defend a very, very bad policy. Nga deep down in your hearts, mweba minister muchimanyi, people in the Ministry of Health, kusumuli basawo. I know I can bed money. You know this is wrong. It's so unfair to subject omusawo genda akola omulimo nga temusasula. It's dangerous. It's so dangerous. It's a dangerous game. Omusawo atali musanyufu. Kino nkigamba gwandaba is not a safe doctor. And the likes of Dr. Chris and all the doctors abali mu Ministry of Health, they know it. But you money. If you're not motivated to work ngoli musawo, you're a danger to the patients and the country. Turning up, enjala ekuluma, landlord yakubanja, mama omulwadde, toyina kiddako. Kugamba oli awo, and then they expect you to deliver at 100%. It's impossible. Tekisoboka. And the ministers know it. Because bakiyitamu. Kyova olaba nti akugamba yali mu industrial action oba strike ya welfare mu kaseera ke.
Yes.
And
I'm
you
handling
seem
it.
to be approaching it with a lot of indifference.
No, why? I have been very outspoken over this issue. And even at the risk of appearing to be going against the policy which was passed, I have told the interns we are going to engage over this issue. So take heart. You report for internship as we engage the authorities that be so that we can rectify some of the areas where you have
Why
misgivings.
would you say that the medical association is misleading interns?
Yes, it is too outspoken, too confrontational. They are even questioning whether we are qualified enough as ministers to lead, saying all sorts of things, and we are watching.
Are you seeing any merit in this?
Kampozingako wano. I have to be so careful with my words. Minister akugambye nti abakulembeze ba umma, they view the ministers as not being competent to lead. You have a scenario whereby you're a minister of health nga oli kulembera people who are way more qualified than you. Katusoke to establishing ekyo nti okuba torch mu leadership ya umma. The consultants, for example, the president, consultant, transplant surgeon, urologist, Dr. Simwe, oyinza okugamba nti he is qualified more than 90% of the entire Ministry of Health. Nenga in this case, bebali mu position to make decisions that are affecting him. Bali mu office muzi SC in comfort. These guys are on ground, operating, treating Ugandans. Gwe oli mu SC, you're waiting for reports. Toli ku ground. You're not on ground. And they're telling you, ekiri ku ground chanjawulo, you're not listening. Gwe oli ku report otudde mu office mu SC mu suuti, osoma report nti, oh, this happened. Omuntu ali ku ground, full soldier ali ku ground yakugambye, embeera nkambwe. If you don't pay these interns, the ship is going to collapse. Goli gamba, report says this. Chofola baba zalawa, that's why. Because they look at you as nkusinga. I'm better than you. I'm more educated than you. Utugenda ku basics of medicine. Sili kugamba nti they are less knowledgeable. No. Medicine is a game where you have to continuously learn. Every month, ebintu bichuka. It's evidence-based practice. Buli mwezi, ebintu bichuka. These guys have been in office, SCs, SUVs, in comfort for years without updating their medical knowledge. So, gaya akulaba, akole ebintu, things you cannot even do because you're not updated, then you're coming out, nga omulaga gwe boss we. Kwe gamba mu maaso ge yalaba nti buli choina achina. Muna degree yemu. Oyinzo gamba if it's books, bakusinga ebitabo. Oyinzo gamba nti if it's medical knowledge, they've been practicing. Bakusinga. Bamanye chiri ku ground. So ovayo no balaga nti oyagala kubalowoleza. Ogenda funa conflict awo. Bajja kuzala. That's why Minister akugambe nti some of them look at us as being incompetent leaders cause they look and see they are better than you. Knowledge, leadership, barely updated on what's going on in the country on the ground. Golimu office, Olinze report, oh no. Abada supervising our interns for the last over 20 years. Myaka nga abiri, the things you've not done. So abakugamba nti, if you don't pay these interns, we are in trouble. Listen to him. Do not rely on a report. Eja kulimba. Listen to the guy. Aliku ground. Akusinga qualification. Akusinga medical knowledge. Akusinga okutegeera how the industry over sector of health works. Naye akugambye, you're not listening to him. You're fixated on a report. You're fixated on Musumanya cabinet. Yagambe wait, made of people who are so incompetent and unqualified. But you're not listening to the guy akola omulimo with these young doctors. Abadaba supervising for the last 20 years. Leave reports alone. Genda ku ground. Nalaba Minister of Health, Dr. Chris nga against embarara. Ngomulaba, he was so shocked. Nenga anyone who works in the industry wamu sector knows that's the reality. Nti omulwadde turns up, no x-ray, no CT scan, no medicine. Nga oyina okugenda oligule. Ne mu maaso ge this seemed new. Bana bagayi ba umma bakimanyi bulungi cause that's what they do. Tebali mu SC. Tebali mu SUV. Tebali mu comfort. Naye report says this. Come on. Leave reports alone. Listen to the guys. They're telling you the truth. Bali kugamba what will happen if you insist and push this policy.
In the
No, you see, I have been one of those who have, like we're saying, fought for the better welfare of health workers. You need to watch and see which tactics you should use. Not all the time you must use confrontation, especially where the Minister of Health, and even many ministers have a good will. The Vice President, Her Excellency Jessica Rupo, and the Prime Minister Robin Anabanja, they on the floor of Parliament and assure the Parliament, we shall look at this and see how we can have a meeting of minds. If you have the good will from government, what I expect the medical association to do would have come and engage us and say, now, what do we do with this? But if you take a confrontational path, it may not deliver results for you. So you should choose the tactics, the strategies, depending on how the dynamics are playing.
You want to say government doesn't have money to cater for all interns, right?
It's a question of the budget.
Yeah, but where are the priorities?
Priorities?
Yes, the Medical Association has come out to show you how there are quite a number of misaligned priorities where if there were budget cuts, it would enable the ministry to cater for medical interns, appreciating the criticality of the role of interns.
Do they think we do not know the role of interns as Minister of Health?
The pride. Do they think we don't know? Pride or Julie, that's what power does. That's what being in a position of authority does. It makes you think I'm better. Nakuwa story ya Marcus Aurelius. Yali emperor wa Rome. Yali wamanyi. Kigambibwa nti yapangisa omusajja, a servant, to whisper in his ear. Nti Marcus, you're human. Yalina amaanyi gonna. Nga kyata kiri kimu nti gajja kumutuuka ku mutwe. Tebakimanyi nti we know the roles of interns. These guys on ground. Nja kubayita ba foot soldier. They are consultants who have seen, they continue to see and they see daily. Bali mukugamba, facilitate these young interns, motivate them, naye gwe olemeddeko. Oh, balowooza tetumanyi kye tukola. Oli mu office, obadde mu office for over 20 years. No one is questioning your competence one. Naye tomanyi kiri ku ground. You do not know. You're relying on reports zebakuwa, whereby some of them, they don't reflect ekiri ku ground. Esinga obungi ku zo, they are forged. The numbers are either exaggerated or underreported. Majority of them. Negwe zolemeddeko, omuntu ali ku ground yakugamba, tomuwuliriza.
Are you saying Uganda Medical Association understands better the criticality of interns compared to what we know?
Yes, they do. Bali ku ground, you're not. Oli mu office, then hospitals, you're not.
I can tell you, for instance, there's a time when hospitals that host interns run without interns for 5 months. But the evidence I have on my desk, that mortality reduced in those hospitals, although the other senior doctors were overworked. So it is also not true.
Mr. Minister. Minister akugambye nti waliwo akaseera when there are no interns in hospitals, mortality goes down, then he acknowledges n'agamba nti the other doctors were overworked. Picture that. Kirowoozeeko kankiddemu akugambye nti waliwo akaseera nga tewali ba interns, naye ate abasawo abalala they were overworked abali mu ddwaliro. Why? Why? It means these guys take on a big load. They take on a lot of work. That's why we bataliwo. These guys were overworked. And the whole idea of mortality rates went down. Is it possible nti the patients balekerawo okujja koste waliwo basawo? Have you thought about that nti balekerawo okujja ku malwaliro cause there were no doctors? Cause mu kaseera kano oyinza okugamba y'ensonga lwaki the mortality rates were down. Cause patients didn't turn up. Bashitegera there are no doctors for 5 months. There's no reason of going to hospital. Therefore, the numbers were low. Ani agenda okufanga dazze mu ddwaliro, who is going to report? Byenkugambe, be relying on reports. Temanyi kiri ku ground, mulimu offices looking at numbers without knowing what's happening on ground.
For instance, right now, I'm not discrediting interns, they make a contribution. Right now, the interns who have been running, serving the internship have concluded and withdrawn. And the new ones are reporting. Have you had any hospital which has closed? Because
doctors are overworked. They are pushing boundaries beyond what they are supposed to do. Because they love the patients, they can't allow them to die. Eyandikoze 12 hours alikola 24 hours. Banansi bali mukubira masimu nti omusawo omukyala bleeding n'akomawo ekiro na operating. Negwe ofuna report, things are okay. Things are fine. Ngekiri ku ground, omuntu wa uma akigambye oli mu kumuwakanya.
For instance, right now, I'm not discrediting interns, they make a contribution. Right now, the interns who have been running, serving the internship have concluded and withdrawn. And the new ones are reporting. Have you had any hospital which has closed? Because the interns have left.
Can you do that?
Yes, we can. There are many hospitals. You see, interns are deployed in hospitals where they are consultants. And largely these are regional referral hospitals and national referral hospitals. A few of the private not-for-profit, like in Zambia, Rubaga, that's why interns are deployed. But like many of the general hospitals in the districts, health center force, they don't have consultants, we don't have interns there. Don't they run? So it is not true that the health service in Uganda is run by interns. That's not true. Probably what speaks to that is the absenteeism and the cheating that the government health workers do, because they spend most of the time in their private facilities, which normally we are going to fix.
Do you get a sense?
Minister akugambye nti ba interns bano basinga kubeera mu referral hospitals wali ba consultants ne private non for profit ebintu nga Nsambya Lubaga. Nagenda maaso n'agamba nti mu health center force amalwaliro amatono ago wansi ago tegaliimu ba intern. Don't they run? Minister, the kind of conditions that are seen in Health Center 4 and the lower levels is the healthcare sector are so different from what people see in referral hospitals. Byanjawulo nnyo. It's possible, for example, a clinical officer or a very experienced nurse in Health Center 4 okulaba abalwadde and they don't die because they are seeing endwadde ziwandigambe nti they are not so serious. I'm not saying there is such a thing as an illness that is serious, but there are levels. Wogenda mu referral hospitals, it's a referral for a reason. Nti ebiganye eno mu bisindike eri, they are more complicated. You don't expect, for example, a referral hospital to run efficiently without interns. You don't. Yensonga lwaki tembasindika mu health center for cause they can be manned by clinical officers. Siri kusalawo wano, they can be manned by nurses who are experienced and things are okay. On a particular night, midwife aswachikwasaganya. Nemu referral they cannot. They will die. If the interns are not in referral hospitals, patients will suffer. Ugandans will suffer. Tebagenda kubeera safe wadde n'akamu. But right now you're painting a picture of hospitals can run without interns by giving an example. Itaikwetinga. You're talking of health center force. Eziraba basic medical conditions, basic surgical conditions. You're talking of lower cadre health centers. Eziraba malaria in some areas, typhoid, diarrhea. Ebintu ngebyo. Sirigamba nti very serious, but those are things that anyone can handle. I know knowledge about medicine, but take an example of a very serious illness. Nga omulwadde azze ekirudu. You don't expect a senior nurse to handle that. You don't.
And they have told the interns, we need them, yes, to do internship, but probably they need internship much more than the other.
Okay.
Because for you...
Is government being ransomed by interns?
No, they are fighting for their welfare, which is okay. But I have told them, since there is goodwill on the side of government, you will not... Why? I am the one speaking as the Minister of Health.
If there was, this problem would be resolved by now. There is money. There is money.
Where?
There is money.
If I be again and I tell you the priorities, like say in the health sector, where we need resources, and nobody is saying the interns should not be facilitated. We're not saying that. We are saying, well, this policy passed, but we can do more consultation. So they should be understanding that we mean well, the Minister of Health means well, and there is good faith.
Oh, you're Dr. Chris Bariomonsi, Minister of Health. Nga kugamba, but doctors bagende ba reporting nga kukola. Minister of Health ejja kukihandlinga their discussions to try and fix this. Nja kusaba ompendowooza eyo mu comment section wansi awo kukyolowooza ku interview eyo, ku police eno ne ku mbeera y'abasawo mu ggwanga n'amalwaliro. Teeka endowooza eyo mu comment section wansi awo. Nja kulaba mu video edako. Peace.